What is going on, guys? It's Jamie and welcome back to another video, and this week I'm going to be giving you guys some of my tips for returning to the gym after lockdown or just returning to training after a significant time away. Before we get started, guys, if you are excited for this video, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button for me, and if you're new to the channel or if you just haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well for new videos every single week. So for the UK family, the time has finally arrived after a long 3 months since Boxing Day, a long lockdown here in the UK. The gyms are finally going to open in just a few days. Anyone who is somewhere where the gyms are not quite ready to open yet, hold tight, guys. Stay strong. I know you guys are going to be back to it as soon as possible, and make sure you take these tips with you for when your gyms finally do open and you can get back to training. But for everyone in the UK, that day is just a few days away, and oh my goodness, am I excited about it, and I can imagine that you guys are too. 3 months is a very long time to have away from the gym, and some of you may well be in a situation like I am, where I've been injured for that whole period and have not been able to train at all, even if it was just home workouts. Whether you've been doing home workouts or not, returning to the gym is going to be a drastic change to your workouts, and there's some things that you guys need to take into consideration before you go back to the gym to make sure you are doing so safely, to make sure you're looking after yourself, and to make sure you are getting the absolute most out of those first few months back in the gym. Tip number one, guys, is to be prepared. Have a plan. When a day finally comes around and it's time to go and hit your first workout, make sure you are absolutely ready. In the run up to the reopening, take some time to prepare. Grab a notebook and write down exactly what that first session is going to be and what it is going to look like, to ensure that when you get to the gym and walk in the door, you know exactly what you are going to be doing for that workout. I would even go as far to say as to plan the entire first week. This is something that I do generally when the gyms are open every single week anyway. Then you know exactly what you're going to do every single day and what each of those workouts is going to consist of, and it's just a really good way to keep everything organized, keep that mindset positive. You can see it all written down on paper, exactly what you need to do. And planning those sessions during the time before the gyms open is just going to make sure that you keep those excitement levels up for when they finally do. My second tip is going to be put emphasis on mobility work. 3 months is a long time to have away from the gym, and with it being a lockdown, we haven't obviously been doing as many activities in general as we would have been in normal life. This means there is a very high chance that your flexibility has taken a bit of a decrease since you last trained in the gym, and this means that you may well struggle to do some of these movements or to hit full range of motion on some of these movements when we get back into the gym. I know for one that I'm going to be taking at least 15 minutes before every single session to just work on some mobility movements, make sure I'm feeling flexible, get everything nice and loose, and just make sure I'm feeling nice and warm before we hop into the sessions. There is going to be a huge difference in the movements you've been doing at home to the ones you're going to be doing when you go back to the gym. Keeping your mobility up is going to help keep that risk of injury down, and it's just going to help you feel so much better during these sessions. There are a ton of mobility exercises online. Have a quick browse, guys, jot some of them down and make sure you are getting them in before your sessions. Tip number 3, guys, and this is a very important one and something that I'm really going to have to drill into my own head before I go back, and that is to not test your 1 rep max in your first session. And to branch off of this, just don't go all out as hard as you can in those first sessions back. Unless you've been training with like a full home gym setup during the lockdown, you are not going to have touched any substantial weight for at least 3 months. And this means that going back into the gym and setting up and pushing those reps as high as you can go is just not going to be a sensible idea. I think very much it stems from like an ego thing. After that long away, there's nothing more you want to do than just go in and pull some heavy weight off of the floor. But in doing so, you're literally going from 0 to 100. And from personal experience, after one of the last lockdowns, I can tell you that if anything, you're just going to be disheartened by going for a 1 rep max. You're probably not going to satisfy that ego because you're going to be a lot weaker than you were 3 months ago, and those weights are not going to feel as light as they were before we stopped training. Instead of pushing your weights to the max, I would recommend working off of percentages, maybe working at 60-70% of your old 1 rep max or even lower, or even just training based on how you feel. This is the first session in a long while. No one is going to be judging anyone. Just go in and work with whatever you feel comfortable with, guys, and remember, hopefully we're going to have a long road ahead of us, working away, chipping away at these weights and getting them back up to those old 1 rep maxes. As well, going in and hitting some big numbers is just going to be dangerous. As we've said, you haven't trained in a long while. Your form will probably need a little bit of tweaking, and going in and pulling these really heavy numbers is just very unsafe, guys. The last thing we want to do at this point is to injure ourselves and end up having another load of time away from the gym. Go in, work with what you're comfortable with, and just enjoy that first session back, because as I said, hopefully we're going to have a long road ahead of us to get those numbers back. I really hope you guys are enjoying this video so far, and hopefully there's been something you can take away from it. If you are enjoying it, guys, please just take a second and hit that thumbs up button for me. I would really appreciate it. My next tip for you guys is going to be to utilize compound movements. Perhaps you've made a brand new training program for yourself to go back to the gym with, or maybe you're just falling back into your old one. But whatever you do, don't fill your workouts with these unnecessary exercises, and in doing so, neglect the compound movements. I know that after training at home for so long, it can be really tempting when we're back in the gym to get all of these machines involved in our sessions purely because it's exciting and we haven't used them for so long. But you guys need to remember that compound movements are the absolute essential and staple movements that you're going to need in your sessions to get that progress back and to start making gains like you used to. These basic movements are probably what got you in the position that you were at before lockdown, so please do not forget about them when we go back to the gym. I know full well that my workout split is fully going to revolve around bench, squats, deadlift, and overhead press, because these are the basic effective movements that are going to bring my progress back as quick as possible. Basic strength exercises, guys, but we absolutely love them and we absolutely need them in our workout splits. Do not neglect them, guys. Make sure you are getting in your basic lifts. Last couple of tips now, guys, and number 5 is going to be don't be disgruntled if you don't see progress within the first couple of weeks. Whatever progress you had made before this lockdown did not happen overnight. So when you go back to the gyms, do not expect it all to come back overnight as well. We all know full well that this game is not a quick one. It takes time and it takes patience, and that patience is going to be absolutely essential when we get back into the gym. If there was a way I could click my fingers and look exactly the same as I did before any of this COVID stuff, I would jump on it. But unfortunately, we all know that it takes a lot of time to make that progress, and all it means is that we're just going to have to put our heads down and chip away and get on with the work. Whether that be with strength or with your body weight, we can and will get back to exactly where we wanted to be. But as I said, patience is going to be absolutely key here. It may well be a month or 2 or maybe even longer before you actually see any noticeable change. But when you do, I just know that feeling is going to be so good, and getting back to where we were or where we want to be is going to be the most satisfying thing in the world. And honestly, I am very much excited about it. There's something I like about just that head down attitude. No one talk to me, I'm here to work, just let me get on with it and let me show you what I can do, because that is going to be so special. And when we get back to it, man, as I said, that is going to be one special feeling. Keep patient, guys, keep your head down and put in the work. And that brings us on to my last piece of advice for you guys, and this one is more of a general thing rather than a specific tip, and that is to just be respectful of other people and also be respectful of the gym rules. Don't get me wrong, it is absolutely incredible that these restrictions are getting eased and we're finally allowed back in the gyms, but at the end of the day, guys, we are still right in the middle of a global pandemic. A lot of people are going to be very anxious, not just for going back to the gym, but also because of COVID-19 and all of the risks that that may bring, especially in these public places. So just be respectful of these people around you. Really pay attention to those social distancing guidelines. Make sure you are following them, and take care not only just to make sure that you're staying away from people, but also that other people are staying away from you as well. And following from this, as I said, make sure you're respecting the gym's rules as well. Gym owners have been through absolute hell for the last year with reopening and closing and reopening and so on. All that they want is for members to be able to come in, and they're going to be so happy that they can finally do so. So make sure that you guys are doing your bit and giving back to them by respecting their rules. Clean down your equipment after you've used it, respect their social distancing rules, and just do what they say, because in doing so is obviously going to keep those risks down and it's going to ensure that your gym can stay open. That is going to do it for this video though, guys. As I said, I really hope you enjoyed this one. Don't get me wrong, there are so many things that I could have talked about for this video, but I thought I'd just pick out a few of the things that I thought would be really key points and useful things to tell you guys, and hopefully things that you can take away for yourself and implement into your own workouts to ensure that you are getting the absolute most out of those first early days back in the gym. As I said, I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button for me, guys. I would really appreciate it. And if you have any more questions or anything else that you think I might be able to help you with, just leave a comment down below and I will do my best to answer those for you. If you're new to the channel, guys, or if you just haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well for new videos every single week. I am so excited to get back into creating some fitness content for you guys. I've got so many video ideas that I just cannot wait to shoot, and also potentially a brand new series that I've been thinking about for my YouTube channel. Stay tuned for that, guys, because it's all going to be very exciting and I cannot wait to share it with you guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.